Hi everyone, my name is Alison. Welcome to my channel, Ancient Oak Psychic Arts. Today I have a very special guest. This is Anne Marie Morales. I'm going to go ahead and read you her bio. Anne Marie Morales is a certified clinical and transpersonal hypnotherapist and a multidimensional energy healer and intuitive. Her journey began 10 years ago when she went through a soul reset and spiritual awakening. She first became a Reiki Master Teacher, then began channeling high frequency beings. Now she combines her skills to assist humanity to transform their minds and live their best lives. Welcome, Anne Marie Morales. And
Thank,
I'm proud to call you my friend.
yeah, thank you. Same here. I'm proud to call you my friend too.
Thank
And
you.
thanks
And
for
I've invited you here today because I think you are such a phenomenal person and healer, and I would love for you to be able to share your wealth of knowledge with the world. So,
yeah.
what would you like to tell everybody about your practice and what you do today?
So today, I am, as you said, a certified clinical and transpersonal hypnotherapist. And this is a very new profession. I've been in business for just over a year. And I absolutely love doing this work. It's very much in alignment with my spirituality and allows me to really help people free up what they have trapped in their subconscious minds. Um, all of us have had experiences where we encounter something and then uh, our central nervous system kind of like stops us. Either we have like a fear of something, that an irrational fear of something, or even just interactions in everyday life. I have the real belief that we live in a reflective universe. Like we create our own experiences through our own beliefs about ourselves and about the world around us. And a lot of times we know that we are kind of like told what to do and how to think and how to believe by our educational system and our governments and our families and our religions, and they all tell us how we should behave. Meanwhile, we go through life doing things that don't really reflect with our true natures and with
Right.
our
They're
true selves.
indoctrination camps.
Exactly.
Right.
So, having said all of that, it means to show that our minds have been programmed and our minds are where all of our behaviors come from and our view on the world. That's where it all comes from. So, being a hypnotherapist, what I do is people come to me and they say, there's this something that I cannot live with anymore, whether it be a belief about themselves. I'm unworthy, I have a block. People come to me all the time and say, I have a block. I want to do this, but there's something that's stopping me. I
Right.
mean, we all experience that. I experience that. I think everybody does. But it gets to a point, and even these blocks then manifest into illnesses. As you said in my bio, I started out with a spiritual reset, a life reset, really, where I came from Catholicism and a certain belief system. And then everything in my life just, my, all my, all the belief systems that I thought were there forever just like collapsed. Like my marriage collapsed. I got laid off from my job. All these systems, even my belief in my religion collapsed because I was like, I said a rosary every single day for my marriage not to collapse, and my marriage still collapsed. So, in my mind, that system failed me. So that system failed me. Um, but what I ended up learning, and I don't want to get too convoluted about it, was that we hold beliefs about ourselves. And in hypnotherapy, What's so beautiful and fascinating is that these beliefs about ourselves and our behaviors sometimes are formed so early, even as an infant, even in the womb, as a 2 year old, a 4 year old, when we go through something that emotionally we just can't handle. So, something, I gave an example to a male client the other day who is coming in because he tends to blow up around his wife. And he's like, I don't want to. Why is this happening? So I told him, I said, there's probably a little boy inside of you that felt the need to express himself in that way to get his point across because he developed such frustration in lack of communication as a small child. Because when you're a small child, you feel everything that you feel. You feel emotions and the variety of emotion that you feel. Like you can go from perfectly happy to devastatingly, demolished in a second. You see that in children all the time.
Absolutely, that raw emotion, right?
Yeah, it's very raw emotion, and there's no emotional maturity to handle it. So, what happens is the subconscious mind stores it as a truth. So, in order for me to get attention, I need to throw a tantrum. And that's a behavior or a pattern of behavior that still shows up. And so you feel like you can't control yourself. Why is it that you can't control yourself? Because there's something deep inside your subconscious mind that is causing this behavior that you have convinced yourself in that iteration of you that that's what you need to do in order to get what you want. And so dealing with the subconscious mind in hypnotherapy is so beautiful to witness the healing that people can go through. And I mean, that was just a very small, abstract example. But we can talk about abuse. We can talk about deep traumas that to a small mind, I shouldn't say it that way, to a young mind, not a small
Right.
mind, a young mind, is devastating. And you would not believe how it still affects you in your adult life because it's so buried within the subconscious mind. And I want to explain what the subconscious mind is because that is something for everybody to understand. We hear that thrown about, oh, it's in my subconscious mind, or
Correct.
subconsciously, I must believe that. We have different minds, okay? We have the conscious mind, and that's you and me talking with each other. We are pulling in different bits of information. I can see that you're in a blue shirt. You have a blue shirt, you have dark glasses, and you've got green plants behind you. You're picking up that I have a white chair and that I have whatever glass, whatever you're picking up from your five senses reality.
Beautiful painting with flowers, right?
Yeah, that's my painting with flowers. Thank you. Um, but the subconscious mind is recording thousands of bits of data information. If you want to use like tech metaphors, thousands of bits of information per second of everything in your environment, not just what you're seeing, but what you're healing, what you're hearing, what you're feeling, the humidity in the room. It's picking up thousands of bits of information.
Exactly.
And it's a supercomputer for your entire existence as Anne Marie or Allison or your viewers, whoever you are. So it is so vast and so perfect. I have heard that through the gentleman who ran the school that I learned my hypnotherapy from, the Institute for Interpersonal Hypnotherapy, Matthew Brownstein. He gave an example of being contacted by a lawyer to hypnotize a client to remember a license plate on a hit and run, and he actually got the client of this lawyer to remember. And they verified, they found the car, and they won their case.
I love it. What a great story.
Amazing. And so that's from like the practical. Then it goes to way beyond that, because the other part of our mind is our superconscious mind. And that is the connectivity that we have with everything, all creation, you could say. Um, you can call that the Akashic records, if you will. You can call that the universe, past lives, however you want to call it. It's all in this super conscious realm where we are all connected. And so we experience that when we meet somebody and have like this instant connection. And we're
Right.
like, oh man, yeah, we really hit it off. And that's probably because this is maybe not the first go around that we have encountered. And I do believe in past lives or future lives, or that all lives really are concurrent and running, and time is not what we think. So I do have these belief systems running. So,
I actually agree with you on that too.
yeah.
Definitely. And we were not, again, our indoctrination systems in our school
Hmm.
systems, we're taught that time is linear.
Yeah.
And we are finding out now that they are actually revealing it to us in science that it is not.
Hmm.
So I absolutely think that more and more people are waking up to this also,
Hmm.
which is why your work is so important.
Yeah. There's another facet of the work that I do that I think is really relatable to just about everybody, and that's something called parts therapy. So I'm a hypnotherapist, okay? I'm not just a hypnotist. I'm trained in how to put people into a hypnotic state. But as a hypnotherapist, there is actual therapy going on in the mind. So we have parts of our mind. We are not just, this is one version of Anne Marie, then there's another version of Anne Marie. And we say this all the time. It's like, there's a part of me that really wants to get this car because it's very practical. But there's another part of me that would love to get this car because this car is like a little bit more fun. It may not be as practical, but when I get in it, I'm really going to have a good time. So that's just one example of parts of our minds. Okay. And there's parts of our minds, and people who come to a hypnotherapist experience grave disparity between the parts of their minds. So there's a part of their mind that wishes to expand and grow and be in love and be in peace. But there's a part of their mind that's resentful. There's a part of their mind that's angry. And I can say that because I know I've experienced it in my own hypnotherapy for my own personal human journey as Anne Marie. Oh, there are parts of my mind that are so angry that they just need the opportunity to vent. Because a
Mm,
lot of us, if we vented that anger, we build up like volcanoes and then we explode. And that's one way to release steam for sure. It can get us into a heck of a lot of trouble,
right.
okay, with relationships and the law and what have you.
Right.
But, if you do it within the context of a hypnotherapy session, you give that part the authority to release authentically everything. Curse, scream. I've got a pillow in my office. If you want to bang on a pillow, if you're angry at somebody who abused you or left you or hurt you or broke your heart, you can just let it all out in that environment. And once you do that, the shift that you feel within you is so life changing, life altering. I've had clients tell me, this happened 10 years ago, and for 10 years I've been holding on to this. And today was the first time I got to really express it and release it and turn it from anger into love, which is
And,
ultimately what I do with my clients.
and that's that powerful healing.
Oh my gosh, it's
Absolutely.
so incredibly powerful.
And then people are wondering, why did I wait so long to do it? Because
Yeah.
they don't think until they're pushed to an extreme point, and
Yeah.
that's when they come and see you, right?
Right. Well, usually the people who come to see me have exhausted modern medicine and modern psychotherapeutic avenues. They're like, every time I've been going to, see a psychiatrist and all they want to do is medicate me, or, they don't give me anything, or they don't make me feel that much better. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. I'm not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. All I'm saying is that this is a modality. This is an option for people. Um, and it is an option that is becoming increasingly more needed because I don't know if you've noticed how crazy the world is, but the exterior, there's a saying, as within, so without, as above, so below. And that is just saying that the external world is based on our internal world. And so we are holding on to anger, we are holding on to sadness, and it's reflecting out in the world within us, even how to deal with seeing all the tragedies that are out in the world. We need help with that because it breaks ourselves, it breaks us, and we begin to take that world weight on upon ourselves, and that's not healthy.
Right. I
It's
totally
really,
agree.
really not healthy. So,
How exciting.
yeah.
So what's a way for someone to begin? Like I know a lot of people think, well, it's not just maybe a traumatic experience that they're going through or
Hmm.
or a blockage.
Hmm.
Maybe there's also like they want to quit
Yeah.
smoking. That's kind of like an entryway, or they want to
Hmm.
lose weight. And
Hmm.
then when you get into it, do you start to find out that there is that emotional trauma, or
Sure.
somebody said something to, let's say it's weight, when they were sick, someone said you were fat when they weren't fat, and they just
Hmm.
absorbed that,
Hmm.
and now they have to release that
Hmm.
created anger, shame, guilt, insecurity, whatever it's creating.
Yep. So there's a couple avenues to that. Uh, there's the self-fulfilling prophecy. If you're told something long enough, you begin to believe it, and then you just generate it for yourself because that's what your mind is telling you. Oh, you're so fat. Look at you. You're so ugly. And then you feel bad. And
Or
it's all because of maybe your brother when you were 8 and he was a teenager put you down in front of his friends,
right.
which is what happened to a client of mine. Um, it's different. So smoking cessation is one thing, and like weight loss is another. That's two really big, popular. Oh, you should get hypnotherapy to lose weight, hypnotherapy to stop smoking. And there are different techniques for both of those issues. They seem related, but really they're not in many ways. So, in terms of smoking cessation, we're dealing with a couple of things. We're dealing with addictive behaviors, we're dealing with self soothing, we're dealing with something that, um, for many years, I don't know how it was with you, Allison, but boy, everybody who was cool was smoking. I smoked for years. I loved it. Whew.
I smoked when I was a teenager. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
was Gen
started.
X.
Yeah, I know. Me
We
too.
loved it.
I
We smoked
know.
weed and we smoked cigarettes and we did all kinds of stuff.
Well, I
I
was a
don't do it anymore, but a lot when I was a teenager, yeah, that's what we
yeah.
did. That was the norm.
I was a repressed Catholic, and my parents were old world, and we didn't smoke in the house, and we certainly didn't do pot. But smoking to me was like all the cool people smoked,
Yeah, I'm
and
from
so
California, man. You
yeah.
should have seen it. It was crazy.
So there's different schools to that. Everybody has their reasons for wanting to stop something. Of course, there's the health benefits to ceasing that, but the deeper issues is what is the behavior really revealing to you? Is there nervousness? Is there anxiety underneath it? The benefit of the inhalation, getting the nicotine or whatever it is, those are self-soothing things. So there's more than just stopping the action, because let's say you're just blocking a river. Well, that water's got to go somewhere. It's going to manifest somewhere else. So whenever people come to me for smoking cessation, by the first session, we're done with the smoking. They'll be like not smoking again. But they come back to me a couple more times because it's going to kick up other behaviors. It's going to kick up other desires. And then we have to follow up and dig into those. And those are where we get the parts therapy. Those are where we use the regression therapy, going to the childhood, going to whatever situation it was, that brings these emotions on that the body feels it needs to self-soothe.
Right. I had a vision when you were talking, and it's that when someone has their morning cup of coffee and they
Oh
want
yeah.
to have a cigarette with it,
Oh yeah.
or they're going to have a drink and they want to have a cigarette with it because they go hand in hand, so then it's more complicated than that. And then who knows what
Absolutely.
else it's piggybacking on that. Yeah,
Well,
very
it's
interesting.
it's ritual. It's
Right, that too.
ritual. You mentioned coffee because, oh my God, my morning coffee is my ritual. Don't
Mine
take,
too.
and I know, and I'm like cutting back on the caffeine because I know the caffeine is not good for my heart. So, but girl, I'm just going
Gotta
to have
have
to deal
some.
with that. I have to have that. So we have free will, we have free choice. We can
Right.
do what we want to do. And that also kind of like goes over into the weight loss as well. Yes, you want to eat healthy. Yes, you want to exercise more and do all these things that is going to bring your vessel into a healthy, manageable state, because I'm assuming we all want to live. We want to live as long as possible.
Right.
And really, my goal, as stated, I want you to live your best life. Everyone deserves to live a life of joy, of peace, of
Right.
happiness.
Right.
That's our birthright. I believe that we are created by our great creator, and that great creator is love. That's all that I believe God is love. And all the other judgment part, that's all humans. That's all humanity. We're the ones that like to point and wag fingers at each other. That's not God. That's my version, and I'm sticking with it.
There you go.
That's
Yes.
that's my version, and that's my big belief. And I'm a very spiritual person. I have a very loving spiritual practice where I've learned to forgive, where I've learned to let go, and it's all been a part of the energy work that I do and this hypnotherapy process. It's been life changing for me.
I
So
bet. I bet. How long does a session usually take?
I usually allot 2 hours. Because first we chit chat, first we talk and you share, and then we do the induction, and then we do the actual hypnotherapy session. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Can you explain to people what that would be like? I mean,
what do you mean?
I think I know a lot of my viewers probably have never had a hypnotherapy
Right.
session.
Mm-hmm.
So when they come into your office,
Oh, I love
um,
this. Yeah.
it's not going to be that circle spinning,
No,
that old cliche. It's not like that. So
no.
so how would you explain that to people so they kind of have a better understanding of what the experience is like? Because I think it
Right.
is fantastic, but I think a lot of people are kind of wondering and hemming and hawing, what is it?
Yeah, because we all have the belief that, oh, I'll never do that. I could never go into hypnosis, or, oh, I tried it 15 years ago and it never really worked for me.
Right,
And
right.
I'll tell people this all the time, and I'll be like, what stops my clients from having a good experience is their expectations of what that experience is supposed to be like. So if you set your expectation over here, like I had it too. So I'm a person that if I don't go through it, I'm not going to advocate for it. So if it doesn't work for me, if I haven't gone through it, it's not a lesson I learned, I'm not going to endorse it. So in my mind, when I first started doing even the energy work that I did, I would use quote unquote hypnosis. I called it something else back then, but I'd place people in a relaxed state, and then they would be visualizing these great, amazing things. And they'd tell me all these wonderful visions of technicolor and all these things. And in my head, because I've never experienced it before, I'm like, wow, so you have to see everything in Technicolor. That's what the experience is supposed to be like. And then when I tried to do it and it didn't happen that way, I'm like, I can't be hypnotized, you know? But as I kept doing
Right.
it, the way that, and as I say this to my clients all the time, I was like, I don't see color ever. Like, I don't see color. For me, I'm an emoter. I'm an intuitive. I emote. I have emotions. So I feel everything. And like my mouth just opens and things come out and it's about getting this conscious mind, this critical mind, the ego mind, if you will, the one that keeps chatting away at you and telling you how awful you are, moving that over to the side and just allowing for things to happen. And so once I have a really nice conversation with my clients, talk to them about what hypnosis and hypnotherapy is, which hypnosis is a natural but altered state of consciousness. That's all it is. And we flow in and out of that kind of hypnotic brainwave, if you will, all the time. We do it when we're scrolling on our phones. We're doing it when we're watching TV. We do it when we're on long trips and we're like, whoop, forgot my exit. There it goes. That happened to me the other day, darn it. I forgot. Well, it extended me another half an hour on my trip coming home. I think we talked about that the other day,
Right.
but it happens to the best of us. I mean, it happens all the time. So we we have I've been trained in more of a relaxing method of hypnosis. So it's through a series of guided imagery that you are placed in a super relaxed state, body asleep, mind awake, and we're able to converse directly with the subconscious mind because there's a barrier between the conscious and the subconscious. Okay, it's like this BS filter. Because let's say I have you there in hypnosis, and I'm saying, tomorrow morning you will wake up and you will lose 20 pounds. You will be 20 pounds lighter. Well, there's a BS detect. That's not going to work. It's just not going to work because it's not true, because your mind is always there going, yeah, this ain't true.
Right.
But there's something called the critical factor, which blocks the subconscious mind from flowing all the time. Uh, and relaxation is one way to do it. Believe it or not, when you're crying and when you're emotional, your subconscious mind is forward because remember, it's
Mm.
emotion that's going to anchor your memories. It can be olfactory, so your senses, but emotions are the deepest, let's say, memories. Brushing your teeth every day, yeah, it's in there somewhere, but it's not very relevant. But big events are very relevant and they embed into the data banks uh, quite deeply.
I can
And
see that.
yeah,
Yeah. They talk about even the emotional release using magnets to try and
ooh,
pull the
interesting.
emotions out too, right, out of the body.
Well, if you think of it, emotion is energy in motion. It really, really is emotion. And that is, me being an intuitive energy healer, that is 100% true. So I had been doing my intuitive energy work for 9 years, 8 years professionally. People would come to me. It's almost like Reiki, but it's my own way of getting into somebody's energy and sensing blockages, etc. And I still do that work, and it's very satisfying. And people really, really have profound healings from that. But there would come a point where I was finding limits to what I can do. And the truth of the matter is because I'm a second person. This is second person work. True healing is first person work. That means you're doing the work. And in hypnotherapy, that's a first person experience. Okay, that's not just somebody telling you this is X, Y, and Z. This is you experiencing it in your own self and in your own mind. So I really love that about the work that I do. So it's just something more, and I love
Yeah,
it.
it's fascinating. Do you let clients record the session so they can go back and see if there's any information that maybe they don't remember because so much comes out?
Hmm.
Do you let them
Um,
do that or?
Usually with the hypnotherapy, I do not.
Okay.
I do with the past life regressions, and I do that with my energy work. Because in my energy work, I might channel something like, when you record for your clients,
Right.
you're in this energetic flow, you've got messages coming in and out, and they don't stick in your brain. They just kind of come out. So if you don't record it in that moment, it's going to be lost. So
Right,
for
right.
my
And I don't want my
intuitive, yeah,
clients stressing out trying to write down every minute detail. Some enjoy doing that.
exactly.
That's part of their learning experience. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it just makes it easier for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I was just curious if they go
Yeah.
back and look at that.
It's a
Yeah.
lot of work. It's a lot of work to do that. I suppose if the client wants to, they can. Um, I don't usually recommend it for my hypnotherapy sessions because once it's over, it's over. Once the healing is done, it's done, and you want to move on. So you don't
Mm,
want to keep
okay.
reliving the torture. You don't want to keep reliving the sorrow. You really want to put it behind you, let it
Right,
go, and start anew. And so, if you think about it, really, the past only lives in your mind.
right,
That's it.
right,
Okay. And so, wherever we choose to put our focus, that's what we're generating. So, why are we going to remember the sorrow? Because the truth is, people can relive very, very traumatic experiences,
right.
really awful experiences. And in the method that I have been trained in, and there's many methods of hypnotherapy, but in my method, we get a release, we heal, we dialogue with the perpetrator, we come to a healing of that relationship, we put forgiveness over everything, and it is so healing that you just want to shed it. It's like you want to take that off, you want to shed that and never go back to it again. So,
That's a beautiful definition,
yeah.
what you just said. I think that that really resonates.
Hmm.
And I think that that gives people an idea about what the experience actually is. Because
Hmm.
it is intense
Yeah.
and it is profound. Because if you're going there, usually it is for something that is a type of trauma,
Yeah.
radical, whether it's going to be molestation,
Absolutely.
rape, or, witnessing a murder or abuse or anything like that. And there's so much more, but there's
Yeah.
just like, you want to heal that trauma. It could be maybe your parents were divorced when you were a child and it was traumatic for you.
Of course.
That emotion right
Of
there.
course. And kids, like I tell you, the young mind that doesn't have emotional maturity, they take the blame on themselves.
Yeah,
Kids do that all the time. It must be my fault
right.
that
Or they're
daddy
just
left
crushed that all of a
or that
sudden
mommy
this
left.
beautiful family is no longer there.
Absolutely.
And now there's abandonment issues and,
Absolutely.
all kinds of stuff comes in,
Oh my
they're
God. Yeah.
open to potential abusers coming in from one of their other parents' new partner. I mean, it just opens up this huge can of worms. Yeah.
It's so, and it I lived a relatively decent life. I mean, I had my problems, and my every family has their problems, but I'm so thankful that I never was like abused or raped or anything like that. I'm just so thankful that that never happened to me. But it's so prevalent
Yeah, it's
in our
crazy.
society. People are so abused, um, and and this is such a holy and holy as in WHOLEY and holy as in HOLEY. It's a beautiful way. Like I said, I'm a very spiritual person. For me, it's like I want everyone to be in love and in healing. And you know I work with all the ascended masters, and I have, I come from Christianity, from Catholicism. I don't reject that background. A lot of people do because they've had their own experiences with it. And
Right.
I don't. I mean, I take it as, hey, that's what I chose to start my foundation with. So, I mean, I have,
Yep.
it's my desire for everyone to be in peace and in love and in wholeness. And so, yeah, it's such a tragedy that there's so much of that out there. But with this method of hypnotherapy, and I can't speak for other ones, but the way that I was trained, there's such loving shifts that happen, and it's
Right. And
beautiful.
and what I love about what you do is that not only can it be done in person, it can also be done over Zoom. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have to be where the person is right there with you,
Right.
which is nice because that allows healing to take place wherever an individual is. They're
Mm-hmm.
choosing someone that they resonate with, someone
Absolutely.
that they feel safe with, that can
Mm-hmm.
guide them through that healing journey.
Yep, yep. And I mean, I do have clients from all over the world
Right.
that come to me for all of this. And I could have done a podcast 3 years ago, and they're like, oh, I really, I like what she has to say. And that's happened to me. I'm
Right.
like, where did you find me? You live in Bulgaria. Like, where did you find me?
Right.
Honestly, like, where did you find? And they're like, oh, I saw your interview with so and so, and I thought you could help me. I'm like, well, okay, I'm here. Let's do it.
Right. Right. Exactly.
I had one gentleman reach out to me because he was feeling uh, so attacked, that he was being attacked, and it was, again, some other institution being attacked. And he had such a beautiful session, just one session, just a beautiful session where he found the light within himself. And he was
Wow.
able to shine his light so that nothing bothered him. And he's like, Amory, I feel better than I've ever felt. I don't feel in fear anymore. And he had paid me for other sessions. He's like, I don't even need that. Like, we're good. I'm like, well, okay. He's like, you keep the
Yeah.
money. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
It's fine with me. So this is a profound space. And I also want to talk a little bit about that because we're learning so much more about the mind, okay, and the quantum realm,
Yes.
and that space, and that's the space, the superconscious mind. That's what I was talking
Yeah, I
about.
love it. I love
And
the quantum. Yeah.
it's a realm of creativity. That's literally where we can create and manifest anything, right? And I have been, because of my work with my channeling, because of my own experiences with other dimensional realities and beings, I've been given this opportunity. I've been given a modality, actually, that's my own modality. So, those of us who are in like this realm of quantum realities have heard about Dolores Cannon and
Right.
her technique of the quantum healing hypnosis technique. Um, that's one technique. So I've been given something proprietary to me. I got the download, and it's documented in my social media because I always, I document everything in social media. And
Yeah.
I actually got a download in church. Thank you very much, because I take care of my mom. She's almost 100 years old. She's still very Catholic, and I do take her to Catholic Mass every weekend. And in Catholic Mass, I always receive a benefit. Just saying, I always do. I always feel healing within myself. I use that time to really ground and heal myself because, hey, I'm a human. I go through crap
Right.
every single day. So there I was. I knew I had been speaking with these extra dimensional aspects of myself, Pleiadian, if you will. If your uh, clientele doesn't know what that is, those are a race of extraterrestrial beings, and you can just look them up and see what they are. Um, And they told me that this is what they want me to do. They want me to assist humanity to connect with their extra dimensional selves, their galactic selves, if you will. And while I was in church, um, I got the download, and there I was typing into my phone. I have to take
I
them,
love it.
taking them to, and it's a place in the quantum realm called the Hall of Universes. And I won't go into more detail because I'd love you to experience it, but it's literally a hall with doors where you go in and you experience different multidimensional aspects of yourself. And it's fascinating. And I have quite a few recordings of people on my YouTube channel, um, of these sessions. And
Oh
they're
my God, how
so
interesting.
healing
I love
and
it.
they're so amazing. I believe in all of that. I do believe that we are multidimensional beings, that there's not just Anne Marie, but there's an Anne Marie somewhere else, and there's an Anne Marie in another dimension, and a version of me somewhere else, and we're all connected.
Yeah, I
You
think I
know,
think for some people it's hard for like especially people
yeah.
that are just coming out of the indoctrination schools or they have
Hmm.
a different school of thought.
Hmm.
If they haven't had firsthand experience, it's
Right.
hard for people to grab that but or grasp it. But what's happening is a lot of people are waking up and they're
Hmm.
opening and they're
Hmm.
opening and they're opening and they're
Hmm.
starting to see that there's more to this life than
Correct.
what we've been told and
Correct.
exactly what you're describing. And
Yeah.
especially in this quantum field. And now science is starting to prove a few things that are about the quantum. And so for the normies, the normal people,
Yeah.
when they hear science is proving it, they're also now more open to it.
Hmm.
So you've got this spirituality side and the science side that are now starting to come together,
Correct.
making it easier for people to be open to that.
Correct.
And that's what we're seeing. I think there's an acceleration. And I was going to the EES Center for a
Right.
long time
Hmm.
and talk about quantum field. You are literally in it.
Yeah.
And I do my manifestation work in there too. So,
Oh,
I mean, because I teach manifestation and I
yes.
do teach it with the quantum. And
Hmm.
so there's a lot of acceleration that comes in for people. But,
Hmm.
people are really becoming more and more and more open to
Hmm.
that. And that's
Right.
one of the reasons, again, why your work is so important and what it is
Hmm.
that you're doing. I love
Well,
those experiences.
yeah, they're fascinating. They're amazing. And what I often uh, tell people is if I'm saying something that hits you in a way that there's a resistance part of you, I said, try not to judge the information or me. Just allow me to speak and just set it aside.
Right.
Because I truly believe that everything happens for a reason and in divine timing. So there's a reason why I came into your reality and I dropped this bombshell on you.
Right.
Okay, there's a reason for that. You may not know it in this very moment, but 2 weeks later, 6 weeks later, 6 years later, you're going to go, oh my God, that woman said that
Right.
the other day. And now it's happening and now I get it.
Exactly.
So we don't know
Exactly.
what anything is for. It is really the true thing. We tend to judge our reality so harshly. But part of my spiritual practice is that statement. We don't know what anything is for. We don't know why things happen to us that are awful, but there's a reason why, and it's usually for our best and highest good in some way, shape, or form.
And
Um,
and that's a hard pill for someone
it
that's an
is.
abuse victim to hear because
It
they're like,
is.
how in the world can this be for my best and highest good?
Hmm. Yeah, it really, really is. It's an awful thing. I can give you, if I could, an example from my own life.
Sure.
Uh, when I was being trained to do past life regression, um, I the reason the intention, so there's an intention, we have to set intentions for everything. The My intention was, it's very interesting because there were there's an archetype of woman, and I think you may or may not be familiar with an archetype is.
Yes,
It's
I
just a
know.
look of somebody like slender, tall, and blonde, or whatever. This particular physical archetype was petite woman with long black hair and dark skin, and it could be Polynesian, it could be Mexican, it could be Indian, it could be Pakistan, like whatever that, type of woman, no discrimination. I would look at that kind of woman and recoil. So I don't know if I mentioned the central nervous system and how it's connected to our subconscious mind, or
No, you didn't.
but
At least I
that
don't think you did. I don't remember.
no,
Okay.
that I didn't quite extend on that, but it's true. Like, when you look at
Right.
something and you're recoiling, it's because there's a memory trauma that's within your memory banks, whether it be a barking dog or an elevator or an escalator or going into an airplane or something. All right. So I would look at this person, and there were a couple that came into my life, and I'm like, I do not like them. And there was no reason. There was absolutely,
Right.
they're beautiful people, very
Right.
educated, successful, sweet. But in the back of my mind, I'm going, oh, bitch, I don't want to fucking, like there was something. So I said, okay, I'm going to have my past life regression, and I want to explore why. Why do I get angry when I see this type of person? And so I go into this regression, and I go back to where I was on a Polynesian island. I was a woman, and I remembered looking down, and I had like a sarong, I had bare feet, and I had the long hair. But I had some sort of like physical deformity. Um, but I was like from a good family. And so I had a arranged marriage. And this guy was gorgeous, and I was looking forward to this. Well, along comes a beautiful other Polynesian woman that took my husband away. And in that culture, if you were shamed like that, that was it. You were ostracized. So either that, or I just took it so hard that I went up into the mountains
Mm.
and I flung myself off a cliff and I killed myself.
Wow.
It was devastating.
I
And
got the goosebumps. Yeah, I
I
just got the
tell you,
goosebumps from that one.
it
Yeah.
was devastating. And this is something about past life regression that makes sense. Um, because we do have echoes from other iterations of us that are still present within us today. Okay. So we got out of that lifetime. I saw my broken body on the cliff by the water, and I was in the in between. I was in the in between life. And we invite in our higher wisdom, could be our higher self, could be God, an angel, whatever that you determine. This is not my journey, it's my client's journey. So, and we dialogue between the perpetrator, the antagonist, and the soul. We're dialoguing, and I wanted to talk to my oversoul. Like,
Mm.
why why did this have to happen? This is horrible. I'm devastated. I mean, I'm crying. It's not much for me to cry because I'm a Scorpio. I'm very like, very emotional, whatever. But
Right.
I was just like, ugh, like there's tears flowing. It was just sobbing, snot. And my higher self was very matter of fact. And this is all my mind, right? I'm speaking this all out.
Right.
I don't know why you're so upset. You're just balancing a karmic debt. And I'm like, well, fuck that. Sorry for my French, but I'm like, that's awful.
Right.
I don't want to hear that. And so I dialogued with the woman. Like, you bitch, you blah, blah, blah. Why did you do that if you knew that I was literally going to be ostracized from my entire community and you gave me no choice but to go and kill myself? It was such a shame on me. And she says, well, to be honest, because I could do it and I wanted to. I just wanted to. And so there was more dialogue going on.
God, the goosebumps I'm getting from this conversation. Oh my
It's
God, it's
it's
really
really
resonating.
it's spectacular, right? You don't
Wow, it
even
is.
think
It's
about it.
powerful. It's super powerful. That's
It's
someone
super
flexing
powerful.
power.
So there was this iteration of me that was so
Mm.
devastated by a loss. And believe me, I was going through a loss because I had just broken up with a boyfriend that I had been with for quite a few years at this time. And so it's all tied in. You see how it's kind of like all tied
Right.
in? And
Absolutely.
so here I am processing that death. And after I got it all out, my higher self and I were communicating about this. And then my consciousness as Anne Marie came in and also dialogued with my past life so that I could figure out the meaning of it. What was the purpose of me experiencing that? Why did I have to go through that? And I healed it. And finally, at the end, we're given the opportunity to unite with our higher selves. And I'm telling you, I remember this like yesterday, like 2 minutes ago. I felt the most intense bliss I
Oh,
have
lovely.
ever felt. And well, I felt bliss like that before in other spiritual experiences, but it was an experience of bliss. And I just remember going, I'm light. Like I
Oh,
merged into light. It was just the most beautiful thing. And then
yeah.
that, when I ended that day, all these things happened in my life that I never dreamed would happen. There were so many shifts in my reality. I never could have imagined it to happen.
Can you give some examples?
Oh man.
I know.
Um,
Sorry to put you on the spot.
yeah, well, okay. So it had to do with that man that I broke up with.
Okay.
There was a lot of bad blood between us. I
Hmm.
was very hurt by his actions. And he texted me saying, I want to bury this. I want peace between us after this session.
I'm telling you, that stuff, it's real and it works.
It's
It
real.
absolutely works. No, it really is real.
So, I mean, disclaimer, can I guarantee this for everyone? No, I cannot. Can I
Right.
wish it for everyone? I absolutely can.
Right.
Okay, I absolutely can.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of great things happen
yeah.
in those sessions. Oh my God, I love it.
Fascinating
I
stuff,
love it.
right?
Yeah, it really is. I love it. Well, we are coming up at our time
Okay.
too. So yeah, any final parting words that you want
Oh,
to
yes.
tell everybody?
I have the immense opportunity to have my own tour of ancient Egypt.
Yes.
I went on a tour of ancient Egypt earlier this year in March. And on the third day, see, I have a degree in art history. I am a channeler. I do all the stuff that I do. So, me going on this trip, I was getting downloads upon downloads. And I was talking on an intellectual level with the tour guide, and I was relating to him all my spirit. And he said to me on the third day of this tour, Anne Marie, would you do a tour with me? I would love to conduct a tour with
Yeah.
you. And I'm like, heck yes.
I know.
So, I have developed my own tour of ancient Egypt. I call it the Chakras of Ancient Egypt tour. We are going to go from, and this is like the Egyptological community has kind of like uh, come up with these chakras. It's not something I invented. I worked with the tour guide who is an Egyptologist, a native Egyptian, and highly spiritual Muslim man. Highly spiritual. And basically, it's going to be healings, connecting with the chakras, past life regressions, meditations. I also do beautiful vocal toning that I channel. I channel something called light language, which is what I believe to be light frequency in spoken form, not meant to be understood, but meant to be absorbed by our own light bodies. We're energetic. We have so many different layers.
Absolutely.
If you understand the chakra system, you know that there's the physical layer, then the etheric layer, then the astral layer, and then going out and out and out. Your auric field, is basically your chakras, and it's going to and it's going to be like-minded people. So if you've ever desired to go to Egypt with like-minded people, and by the way, it is my tour, and I say it, but if you have a spiritual gift like Alison, should you decide to come, you bring your cards and you can like book readings for people on the tour. You can share your information and give as much as you receive. It's like open. So yeah, I had like an unfortunate experience in the tour, the first tour that I did, and I was like, I'm never going to have people feel like they cannot be themselves. So
Absolutely. You
it
have
for
to be
me,
yourself. And I
yeah,
actually want to go on that tour with you.
yeah,
But as everybody knows, I'm going to be moving. So it's going to be next January that you're going,
correct.
January 2027, correct?
Yes. So it is a
So
year from this coming January. It's January 18th to February 1st of 2027.
awesome. Because if I can do it,
Yeah.
I'm going to do it. I just need to figure out where I'm going to be because
Yeah.
FYI, everybody knows this. I have animals.
Hmm.
So for me to pick up and leave, it's not that easy. Just like for
Right.
me to move, it's not that easy. I have to really coordinate everything and make sure I've got caregivers for the animals while
Hmm.
I'm gone. And if I'm
Hmm.
moving to a new location, I won't know anybody there and I need to get that
Hmm.
established. So
Sure.
I definitely am going to go once I figure out
Right.
where I'm going, but I can't commit yet. But for anybody watching, oh my God, Anne Marie is a joy to be around. She's so knowledgeable. The last time I saw Anne Marie, we met up at the Ringling Museum. We're both in Florida.
Hmm.
And we had such a great time walking around the museum. And I don't have a degree in art history, but my background is literature, philosophy, and classics, Greek and Roman literature. And I was originally going to be a professor or an attorney, so I have my own background in it. But
Hmm.
what a love to have someone that's like, oh, look at this Caravaggio and look at this, and I'm like, yeah, someone that can speak my language. I love you. And to really,
Yeah.
get into it, having these wonderful discussions and talking about the richness of the color. Remember that blue color that we
Hmm.
were talking about, with some of the artwork. I can't remember the
Yeah.
artist right now, but I can see the painting.
Hmm.
But we had so much fun. I'm telling you, if you guys want to have a wonderful tour, and especially with your spirit guides, they are more Egyptian. And
Yeah.
so, I mean, so it's really you're in your element to go
Hmm.
there, really.
Yeah. And what I also tell people is if that voice in your head says, "Oh, I'll never have the money," or "Oh, I'll never do that," just put it out to the universe. One of the
Right,
prayers that I always say is, "Find me a solution,"
right.
and the solution will appear.
Absolutely. I cannot, yeah. When they shut that down, I see some
Right?
comments sometimes on the channel. Well, wham, wham, wham.
Yep.
Everybody has that victim mentality and that poor
Yep.
me. They're going to go down even further.
Hmm.
They need to really make that shift and watch it
Hmm.
happen, right?
Right.
It's like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. And you visualize it and watch these things start to come into fruition.
Right.
No, I think it's wonderful. I can't wait. And in fact, for anybody that's watching, you want to do that, I'm going to have all of Anne Marie's contact information if you'd like to book a session with her or check out her website to learn more
Hmm.
about her and to learn more about the Egyptian trip. That will also be on your website. So people can
Yes.
definitely check that out.
I have a
So, yeah.
dedicated page. I have a dedicated page talking about the trip, talking about myself, the Egyptologist Maher Hagag. who has been doing this for 30 plus years.
And that's who you want. You want a
That's,
professional. You want
yeah,
someone that's really knowledgeable, that loves what they do.
yeah.
You want
Mhm.
someone that's going to be present in the moment, that knows everything.
And when I tell you it's a first class tour, it is a first class tour. None of these showboat things down the Nile. We're talking 7 days on a silent barge with all first
Nice.
class amenities. If you have dietary restrictions, if you are vegan or vegetarian, they work with you. It is really beautiful, really quite beautiful. And it's going to be a small tour, at the max 24 people. So
Nice.
you're not
Great.
going to be lost. You're going to make lifelong friends, and it's an incredible opportunity. So
Have fun.
let's make that
Yeah.
work.
Exciting. I know. I'm hoping I get to go too.
Mhm.
Well, thank you for being here today, and I hope to have you back again because I
Thank
know
you.
you're just a wealth of knowledge, and we can probably talk more about it too, about the
Mhm.
chakra system there. That would be
Yeah,
really exciting too.
let's talk about that.
And so, just to remind everybody, welcome and thank you for being here today and joining me with my special guest, Anne Marie Morales. And again, my name is Allison. This is Ancient Oak Psychic Arts, and I am a tarot reader and psychic. And if you'd like to book a personal reading with me or any of my other services, I do have a sale going on right now. You can check out my website, ancientoakpsychicarts.com. Link is in the description below, along with Anne Marie's details. Definitely check her out. And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's, everyone. And we look forward to seeing you. All right, everybody, lots of love. Bye for now. Thanks, Anne Marie. Bye bye.
Bye.